Hello, and in this C++ tutorial, we're going to be going over integers and why they're bad and how to use them. So, we're going to get started by opening code blocks, and first thing we're going to do is create a new project as soon as it's done. So, go ahead, create a new project, console application, next, C++, we'll name it integers. Click finish, click yes. Yes, I already had this done before, so that's why it's asking to override. Now this will not pass since this is the hello world main thing. There's a template file right here. I'll include it in the download link in the description. It will be from Dropbox. So open template, Control C, paste it into the main. So first thing, save. We're gonna have to declare some integer values. So int numerical value 1. Now we're going to have to do this 5 times. Four, 5. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Next. Now essentially what we're going to do is take our numerical integer values, so numbers, and we're going to find this average mean. Now if you remember from math class, a mean is taking, like, let's say 5 and 11, and there's 16, but when you divide it by 2 it's 8, so the mean is 8. It's the number in between, so the average. Now we're going to do this with 5 values, except we're going to calculate the mean in 2 different ways. The first is going to be by taking the ratio, so instead of like 5 and 11, we're going to take 5 divided by 2, so it's 5 halves, plus 11 halves, 11 divided by 2. And then we're going to do it the old-fashioned way, where it's like 5 plus 11 divided by 2. So, first things first, we're going to have to tell the user to input stuff. So, we're going to output to the user, enter value 1. And then we're going to take an input, and this input is going to be, the input is just going to be equal to our value, our integer. So we're just going to say n value 1. Let me copy and paste. Also, don't forget your semicolons. Now I'm just going to copy and paste this right here. So let's do that, that 2, 3, 5 times. Except now we're just going to change the values from 1 to 2 and so on. Just go ahead and do that. Finally, value 5. Okay, next we're going to output basically, this is going to be the sum of ratios. So there you go. This is the sum of ratios. Go ahead, do another output. This time it's going to be quite tedious, but whatever. So n value divided by 5 plus, now just do this for sorry, I have a cold, for all the 5 values. So you're going to have to switch them from value 1 to value 2 add them together, and so on. Save often. So 4 out of 5, almost done. And 5 out of 5. So that's basically going to be the sum of the ratios, where we take value 1 divided by 5 and then add the subsequent values together, each one of them divided by 5. Now we're going to add a new line. I don't know if I went over this, but \n is the command for a new line. So there you go. Learn something new each day. This will just go down a line. It's like hitting the enter key in a word processor. Nothing is going to be in there. It's just going to be a blank gap, sort of like this right here between this line and this line. Now we're going to also output the average mean, or we'll just say this is the mean. Wherein the difference is that we're making a ratio of fraction over here every single time. Over here we're basically going to not do that. Instead, we're going to add all of the numbers up together. Then we're going to actually divide by 5. So numerical value 1 plus, oops. Now I did something because I clicked insert. Plus numerical value 2 plus numerical value 3. By the way, just add spaces in between, easier for formatting. Plus 5. Notice they're in parentheses because we want to add all of them up together, get one value, then divide by 5. So use the division symbol, divide by 5. And we're basically done. Just add a new line to add a space between that and the system saying, oh, we finished. And save. Now make sure you have all your semicolons in everywhere. Yep. That should not be there. Go ahead, build and run. So, first things first, enter a few values, 66, 55, 25, 98. Okay, bad values, whatever. Try it again. Run. Let's do like 50, 250, 37, 23, and 1. There you go. They're different. And now here's the reason why. In computers, don't store values as fractions. They just keep them as, they convert it to decimal. So if I get the calculator out, I can show you this and how it works. So let's say I take 37 and I divided it by 5, which is what I did in the first one. See, I get 7.4. Now, what was that? That was 37. That's numerical value 3 divided by 5, right? But the computer doesn't actually keep it as 7.4. Neither does it keep it as a fraction. It actually rounds down. Now, see, this is your ones place, decimal point, hundredths place. Now, if it's less than 5 in the hundredth place, it gets rounded down to 7. If the number is greater than 5 in the hundredth place, it gets rounded up to 8, which is why there's a discrepancy. Now, both of these versions are very bad. Don't ever do this if you're dealing with sensitive information. In the future, next episode, we're going to be going through floating point and double precision values. But just a little bit about the integer function, or the integer. It's a limited range from like negative 2 billion to positive 2 billion, so delta of 4 billion. And you can also have an unsigned integer, where it's from 0 to positive 4 billion, so no negative numbers. That's about it. And then just a little bit of terminology here that you guys will probably use in the future is truncation, which is basically the error of rounding off. Not really the error, it's more like a way to say rounding off, but when something gets truncated, it's basically getting changed to something that's not the actual value. So that concludes this episode of our integers and why not to use them. Hope you liked the video. Hope you learned something new. Please comment anything you want to comment down below. Leave a suggestion or anything you guys want me to do in the future. Other than that, please like and subscribe if you like the content, and have a nice day.